Alright, welcome to CPA Update 5. Um, so this week we didn't really do a lot, kind of like course-wise, but we did learn a lot. Basically, we went over exceptions, and there's a bunch of different, like exception. I think they called them categories, if I remember correctly. Yeah, exception categories. And so we have, like logic error, domain error, invalid argument, stuff like that. And it gets more in depth, like bad alloc, underflow, overflow, stuff like that. And so, basically, we went to a C++ reference, right? And it had a list of a bunch of um, exceptions, and so we put them all into here, and this is all of them, starting at logic error, and then domain error, and then invalid argument, and all the way down here, just all the exceptions. Page and a half of almost 2 pages, yeah, pretty much 2 pages of exceptions. I'm gonna quickly go over weak PTR, just because it'll pretty much show you what we've learned, because it's a long rabbit hole of stuff that we had to kind of like do. So basically, there's a thing called smart pointers, and it's pointers, except they automatically destroy themselves. So if there's allocated space, don't get worried about it still being allocated when you end the program. Basically, you never want to use a raw pointer, because these are way better. Basically, weak PTR. Basically, in these little like curly brackets here are the scopes, and a shared kind of pointer right here is gonna give access to give access to a bunch of pointers that are in this scope, not the outer scope but the inner scope, to a bunch of different values and stuff that they can use. And weak pointers are basically pointers that can't go outside of their scope. Boom. And they'll stay in the scope. If you try to use them outside of it, it doesn't work. So when you try to use one outside of its scope, you get the bad weak pointer exception. And they say it expired because the only way to get to outside of the scope before it's even initialized is by using it after that code has ran. So yeah, bad weak pointer. Basically all it is if it's trying to use something that doesn't exist anymore, and the thing that doesn't exist anymore is a weak pointer. So that's why you get this exception. And over here, kind of what it looks like here. This is really, really complicated, so I'm not going to really explain it, but this is just what it looks like. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically what we learned. There's a bunch of other stuff as well, like a bad cast, or bad array length, bad allocation, overflow, underflow, range, runtime, just a lot of stuff. And yeah, we learned a lot about automatic pointers, smart pointers, unique pointer, which I guarantee we'll all learn at some point. Well, I'm pretty sure like later in the course we're going to talk about like smart pointers and all that. But yeah, that's basically what we learned this week. I was thinking about going over every exception, but it's a lot to do, and this is supposed to be just a little like preview of what we did. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna end this here. See you next week. Bye.